What's going on, people? It's your man, the White B, back once again. So, Dillian White, bosh, has fell off, folks. He was supposed to be starring in a pay-per-view blockbuster against Muhammad Ahmad Golovkin reincarnate. Yeah? On the Fabio Wardley versus Justice Justice Easter Island looking ass, Hooney. Someone in the comments, man, that's crazy. That's diabolical. Easter Island looking ass. That's crazy. Anyway, listen. Dillian White is supposed to be on the card. Frank Warren's come out now and put out there that Dillian White's. Here's the bars from Frank. I'm not even sure how to explain it.
Sure. Just on a couple of more heavyweights before we close off, Frank. Obviously, we'll have a catch up tomorrow at the press conference as well in Ipswich. Dillian White was scheduled for this card. Now, I've not seen an opponent announced for Dillian this Saturday. What is going on with Dillian White?
He's not going to be on the card now. He's had an opportunity of a big fight in August, and we're looking at the moment to get that over the line. It's a big fight for him. So that's going to take priority. He wants that. He wants the bigger fight than he would be getting if he'd been fighting in Ipswich. So that's what's going to happen.
So from your comments there, that's like a world level fight we're heading to, yeah?
It's a really big fight, yeah.
Okay, we look forward to that.
Okay, so, I mean, Dillian White was supposed to fight Joe Joyce. He fought Ebenezer Tete, and that was, man, he looked bad. He looked bad in that fight. Supposed to fight Tete, signed to fight Joe Joyce. Then what did he do? Hurt my little finger. Give it to David Hay. That's what he did. Yeah, give it the Yardy version of David Hay. My thumb's hurting or something like that. Didn't do the Joe Joyce fight, which really was a good fit. I mean, that should have been him all day and night. He was supposed to be having another warm-up fight. He's been doing warm-ups for a minute, ain't he? He fought Christian Hammer, Ebenezer Tete. He was supposed to be having another warm-up. I don't know why I know Joe Joyce lost against Hrgovic, yeah? I don't know why that fight wasn't rescheduled, to tell the truth. I don't know. Come on. Yeah? Come on. Now, they claim, we got a big fight for him. And there has been some speculation. I've got here's a leak here for you, man, right now. White pulls out of Wardley card. Frank Warren has confirmed Dillian White has pulled out. And according to Warren, White will return in August, which is expected to be against British rival Lawrence Okolie. So that fits with the it's a big fight narrative. And that would be a big fight. Honestly, though, I know Lawrence has been talking a lot. But I don't know why Dillian White... Listen, he's Okolie, a big ticket seller. I don't think Okolie does any more tickets than Joe Joyce, to be fair. Probably because Joe Joyce has fell off a bit. He maybe does a little bit more, but... When does Lawrence Okolie have good, entertaining fights? I'd be very shocked to know that... For me, just sitting here, yeah, Joe Public, unwashed, I'd have told you, even at this point, Dillian White and Joe Joyce does better numbers than Dillian White and Okolie. And at the same time, unless Dillian White knows something I don't, I think he's in trouble. I can see him going spark to sleep from Okolie. Then again, Okolie might shit himself though. He's known to do that. He said he was going to do a whole bunch to Bilham Smith and shit himself. They say, he's back now at heavyweight. He couldn't eat before. It's in his head though. Yeah? He couldn't let his hands go with Bilham Smith. So it could, listen, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're overhyping Okolie because he's a bum slayer really. He's good at knocking bums out. The one decent fight he's had, where he was, even then he was a 4-1 favourite, but the one guy who turned up to win, and had some decent class, he got punched up. That's the truth. So maybe we're on the bandwagon of Okolie. Maybe Dillian White's going to... No, I can't imagine. He went life and death with Tete, man. He went life and death with Purple Aki's cousin. So, I mean, the point I'm making, why not Joe Joyce? I like to see Joe Joyce get paid. That's actually an entertaining fight. The Battle of the Washed. Yeah? Let's see who's really the most finished in Britain. Yeah? This is like the B-League. The biggest bum of Britain is Fury versus AJ. This is like the B-League version. Yeah? Division D biggest bum of Britain. Joyce and White. And I think, to be fair to them, there's no chance of that fight being a stinker. Bottom line, Joe Joyce ain't going to shit himself. Dillian White won't. Even if he looks washed, he's still going to turn up and fight. Okolie, I don't know. I'd like to think Okolie will go in there and just whoosh, that right hand, and it's going to be a wrap for Dillian. But at the end of the day, Okolie's turned up to one fight. He's actually, the one fight he had to turn up to, he shit his pants. So it's like, you have to believe in miracles almost. But then Dillian White is shot. He is shot. I've never seen nothing like it, man. Even Fraser Softbones Clark made Tete. Even that, and again, that was a bit of a moody stoppage. But even Fraser Clark handled that more convincingly. He was never. Dillian White looked like, honestly, Fraser Clark, whether the fight was stopped early or not, Fraser Clark was never not in no doubt. Or was never in no doubt. When Dillian White was in there with Tete, yeah. Honestly, I was watching it thinking this could go either way. This could go either way, man. It reminded me of that fight. There was a fight between two 60-year-old dudes from the past. Who was it? Oh, I can't remember their names now. But it reminded me of that. There was a fight recently. You know, even James Toney. James Toney had a fight like 2 years ago when he was 58. That's how it reminded me of Dillian White in there. See, honestly, it's crazy. Anyway, that's the Okolie part done. And that is, of course, speculation. We don't know if it's Okolie or not. At the same time, though, there's been some rumours of Joe Parker versus Dillian White. And honestly, whilst this leak here says it's going to be Okolie, I don't think it would. I just don't think it will be Okolie. I'm leaning more towards Joe Parker. Why? Joe Parker's actually a big fight for Dillian White. They've got the history. And at one point, somewhat recently, Joseph Parker put a video out, and it was a good video, probably years ago now. Calls out Dillian White, and he did like a video, had a song on it, and he had a picture of Dillian White in his hot pants. I swear down, let me find the video. Cool. Joseph Parker calls out Dillian White. It was a crazy video. I wonder what year that was. Let's check. Feels like yesterday to me. Here we go. 24. It was only last year. When did he spark Wilder? Wilder was his sparking, but Parker versus Wilder date. That was his first get-on fight. I think Parker was a 10-1 underdog at that point. I think that was Parker coming off of. He looked bad against. Did he fight Jack Massey or something? He looked bad against him. He got stopped by Joe Joyce. So this fight. Oh, come on, man. December. Okay. Yeah, Deontay Wilder versus Parker was December 2023. So after Parker beat Wilder, he's still calling out Dillian White. Here's the video. Yeah, look, April 2024. 6 months after he beat Dillian White. I can't play the song because it's going to be pagan. But it's basically a funny song, and he's like, I wish you were mine type thing. Look, he's got Dillian White. I'll play a little bit of it, man. He's got Dillian. He's got Dillian White in the hot pants, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's got the mug with Dillian White's lipstick on as well. That's wild. It should be called the Booty Snatcher, man. Bosh. Okay, so on that basis, Dillian White, yeah, there's nothing in the Okolie fight. High risk. There's a beef there. Dillian's not stupid though. Sorry, he's not stupid. The Joe Parker fight now. Even though Joe Parker's not a massive name, he's at top relevancy in boxing. He's done something at heavyweight, and it was only Parker's own. I'll tell you a lie. He beat Okolie, but the point is, after Parker beat Wilder, he's out here putting media to convince Dillian White to fight him. So whilst you could possibly say, oh, there's no way Parker's going to fight Dillian White, well, he beat Wilder and wanted to fight Dillian White. Not to mention, more importantly, where does Parker go from here? If I'm Parker, and rightfully so to be fair, I know this might sound hypocritical, but I don't really want to see Caballero or Parker fight. They've been saying, put Caballero and Parker together. We need contenders. That's what makes a healthy sport. What I don't like is all the contenders kind of finishing themselves off. You need 1 or 2 dudes who are up next for the belts. Let's say Dubois wins. Or whoever. We know Usyk's going to retire soon, but let's say Dubois wins, for example. I'd like to see Dubois versus Parker and Dubois versus Caballero. Right? I don't really want to see Caballero and Parker take each other out, and then there's only one man. At the same time, you can say, well, the best should fight the best. They've been doing that though. Caballero smoked the best already. I think them two, potentially, Caballero and Parker, should fight for belts. Right? Let's say Parker beat Dubois, then Parker would fight Caballero. That's what for me, they've earned it now. Yeah? Parker sparkled Okolie, beat Zhang, beat Wilder. He should be up for a belt now, to be fair. Same as Caballero, schmokled. Big bang, I bang you. Knocked the sweet chili sauce out of dude, man. Yeah? He knocked the crispy chili beef legs out of Zhang. Big bang. Alright? That's enough for me. Zhang was the boogeyman. No one stopped Zhang. So, with that in mind, again, Parker's not stupid. What you don't get nothing. Parker don't get nothing. Caballero don't really get nothing from fighting each other. Yeah, Turkey will no doubt put a bag up. But they've done enough for me. They're waiting for belts now. I've got no problem at all. Listen, fair play. If they want to get it on, that's maximum salutations. Right? But if they want to if Parker wanted to take, bear in mind he's being frozen out to some extent from his belt opportunity. That WBO, the interim, yeah? Joe Joyce had that like 5 years ago. Swear down right now. Joe Joyce had it. He lost it to Zhang. He rematched Zhang. About a year after that, Zhang fights Parker. Yeah? So it's like, whoa, it's been about 4 years, seriously. That WBO's been up to be fought for and it has not been. So Parker now, fight Dillian White. Does Dillian White earn it? Has he earned it? Probably not. I think Dillian White is earned at this point. He's earned a Joe Joyce fight. That's what I think really he should be doing. At the same time, we're all going to watch it, and I think Parker sparkles him. Seriously. I think it will look like Okolie too. This is going to look like Joe Parker versus Okolie too. That's how it's going to look. Yeah, very quick. Parker's too big, too strong now. I don't think he can punch, but Dillian White's chops. How good is his chops at this point? I've seen him go life and death with Tete. Tete was slow as molasses in winter. Way too slow. Parker's going to be, look, there. You saw how Okolie's big ass got caught? And Okolie, he was at the prime of his career. Yeah, he wasn't fit, but Dillian, man, I think he's going to struggle with the speed. The movement, my speed. He's going to struggle with the Andy Ruiz bars from Parker. My speed, my movement. That's what he's going to struggle. You best believe it, man. Andy Ruiz, Joseph Parker's going to put some of that New Zealand Andy Ruiz on his ass. My speed, my movement. Bosh! Yeah? He's going to faint to the body. Whoop! And bowl his right hand over. And Dillian White's most likely going to be Johnny Boshed. And be a big heap on the floor. I can't see him fighting Okolie. But whilst we mention the Okolie fight, since that's the one that's being touted, who else could it be, in fact? Let's do some... It's got to be one of them two. It's got to be Parker or Okolie. Right, who else? It's not going to be a Talma, is it? Could it be a Talma? Could it be a Talma? To be fair. Could it be a Talma? If I'm Turkey, yeah, I'd do that. I'd pay for that. I'd put the money up to entice Dillian White in. If I was Turkey, yeah, I'd rather pay Dillian White double to fight a Talma to build that stardom or whatever. Than if Dillian White fights Parker, who cares really? There's no legacy being built there for Parker. Parker's already done the legacy building. Knocking out Okolie, knocking out Zhang. This is just dead. But to Moses Talma, knocking out Dillian White potentially would be worth something. See the point? Even Okolie, to be fair. Lawrence Okolie, I don't see why Turkey would pay for that. Lawrence Okolie knocking out Dillian White, that don't build nothing, man. You've been in the game. And Dillian White looks washed up. Whereas a Talma's completely unknown. This will be the first time he fights a professional, washed or not. Maybe it's a Talma. They're not going to do it though. I don't think Frank would do it. I'd like to think they would. Could be a Talma. If it's a Talma, fair play to a Talma. Yeah? Don't get me wrong, I'll still be hating, saying that Dillian White's washed up, but that would be a fair step. Yeah? If this guy is the next star, get him in there with Dillian White. What's the point? What's the point of having all this money? What's the point of having all this shmoney and you're not putting it up to invest in the talent of the future? These names, or pay Joe Joyce a big bag, right? Pay Joe Joyce a big bag, a retirement bag. Pay him $2 million to get in there with Atama. That's worth it. If Atama was to be the next top guy, selling hundreds of millions of pay-per-views per fight, right? But they don't want to do that. Is he even ready for that? We don't know. They playing with it. That's what they doing. But we know Atama was allegedly getting out in July 19th. So if Dillian's come back in August, it's definitely not going to be Atama. That's what it's not going to be. Or could it even be that Joe Joyce and Dillian White has been rescheduled for August? If that was the case, though, I think if Dillian White was scheduled to fight Joe Joyce in August, would he not get out this weekend? But there are risks to that. At his age, even if you're in there with a stiff, you can... We know I think he cut his skin or something on his hand, so you could bosh your hand, and 2 months out, it's a little bit... It's not risky of losing the fight, but where's the upside? He's been having warm-ups. I don't think he can afford... To be fair, I don't really think Dillian White can afford to have no more stinky warm-ups, man. We've seen... Hammer was stinky. Yeah, Tete was stinky. You don't need no more of them. He needs to get in there now. No excuses against an opponent. But my base case will be Joe Parker, to be fair. As crazy as that is. Who Joe Parker going to fight? Yeah? Who's he going to fight? It's literally more or less nobody. Who's he going to fight? AJ's out to the end of the year. We're not even sure AJ would take that fight. He might get schmarked, to be fair. Yeah? Who's Parker going to fight? Let's have a look at the rankings quickly. Box ratings. Where's this Cabal juice? Killing me slowly, you best believe it. Okay. Wow. Alright, we've got Usyk, Dubois, they're busy. Caballero is number 3 ahead of Parker. I don't think Parker's going to do that. AJ's not going to do that. Fury's not going to do that. Lawrence Okolie not going to do that. Wardley's busy. Gassiev, no one's fighting him. Stinky. Hooney's busy. Hunter, Bacoli, Dillian White. Yeah, it's got to be people. Or, can't believe I forgot this name. Chisora. Parker could fight Chisora. Dillian White could fight Chisora. Oops. So there's 3 names in the mix now. Yeah? Dillian White could be fighting in August. Chisora, Parker, or Okolie. I'm not even sure what my favourite is for that now. It could be Chisora. It could be Chisora, isn't it? I think Okolie's the bottom runner for me now. Honestly. If I'm Dillian White, again, the Okolie fight makes no sense. He's not bringing nothing to the table. What's Okolie really bringing to the table? He's got a moody knockoff ranking that he paid for. That he got popped for. That he got flown out for in Dubai. Yeah, some Dubai prince flew him out for the rating, allegedly. That's what some people say, not my opinion. Yeah, some people say Lawrence Okolie got flown out to Dubai for the WBC ranking. That's what I've heard. That's what some people have allegedly said to me. Yeah? So what's he gonna... Who wants to fight Okolie? He's lanky, he's awkward, and if he is losing, he'll just cling on to you and stink the place out. So there's no upside there from Dillian. If we knew Okolie couldn't hug, I reckon Dillian would think, right, let's have a fight. But you can't do that with this big stick insect. If he's losing, he'll just cling on to you and it will stink the place out and piss the masses off. So that's not going to be Okolie, I'm sorry. Chisora, that's a big fight. Yeah? Big fight. I got Chisora winning because of his recent form. But, right, they're going to come and scrap. Everyone's happy. Turkey will want to see that. Joe Parker, again, history there. Dillian White's got to win. It worked for Dillian White. That's a bigger fight than Okolie. Okolie's never done no numbers. When Okolie was champion and he fought Chris Smith, he had to go to Bournemouth. He ain't got no people like that. Otherwise, they'd have done it in London, surely, right? Well, that was a unification fight. Whatever it was, man, he got punched up. He got punched up, OT, and Billum Smith and the rest of the farmers, I saw the video, yeah? Billum Smith and the farmers down there, yeah? They snatched his chain off, took his sneakers off his feet, and he walked home barefoot. Swear down. They robbed him down to his boots. Them farmers did down there, and then bore him off sides. Yeah, Lawrence Okolie, he can't go OT like that. He can't. Yeah, them farmers was on his ass. The day I saw the video, man. He came there with a penny boy chain on, and he left without his boots on his feet. Fact, documented. He can't go OT like that. He's not safe outside. Stop playing with me. Yeah, so forget about Okolie. Listen, I like Okolie. He got some good chat. And I think I'll probably save that video. How long have we been waffling for already? Yeah, it's 20 minutes. It's getting kind of long in the tooth right now. But I have got some funny quotes from Okolie. I like him. He's kind of come out of his shell at heavyweight. Maybe he was dehydrated and starving out of carbs. When your body's got no carbs, you can't do nothing. You can't crack no jokes. Yeah, how many jokes you seen on them moody Oxfam videos? No one ain't cracking no jokes, man. Low calories, calorific deficit. You ain't got no energy to crack jokes. Okolie's come up in weight, and he has got some. I like his banter, but what I don't like about Okolie is he's done nothing for his ranking. Yeah, but not only that, he's also calling out a lot of the old granddads. Who did he call out? Oh, Joe Joyce don't want it. Oh, Dillian White don't want it. It's like, really? He allegedly called out Caballero, allegedly. But again, what are you doing for Caballero? I wouldn't mind that. Caballero walked right into Okolie. What's Okolie going to do? Are you joking? Okolie couldn't handle the pressure of Billam Smith, B-level Billam Smith. Billam Smith can't pressure fight like that. Yeah? What's Okolie going to do when Caballero... Okolie's got a puncher's chance in that fight, but the pressure, yeah. If you think Okolie's been scared before, you've never seen nothing like it when Caballero's walking onto him. If he can't get that right hand off early, it's going to be a long night for Okolie. And the fight will stink as well, most likely, because Okolie will just cling on. He's got no shame like that. Self-preservation, got primitive mindset. He ain't got no Valhalla in him. He will cling on and stink the place out and piss the masses off. The most pissed off I've ever been in a fight, honestly, is Lawrence Okolie versus Billam Smith. That is the most pissed off. Seriously. Never seen anything like it before in my life. It was worse. Honestly, it was worse than Devin Haney the other weekend. What I saw Okolie do. Woeful. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. And in fact, that's another thing with Okolie. Wait a minute. Whilst we're on Okolie, yeah, Okolie was ordered... No, sorry. Okolie was... not sectioned, what's the word I'm looking for? He was, listen, you need to fight Riakporhe, is the truth, man. That fight was booked. Then you got flown out to Saudi, to Dubai, allegedly, for the take it for the put on, for the WBC ranking. And you came back and said, oh, I'm ranked now, so Riakporhe needs to level up. That's a perfect fight. I think that's a fair fight for Okolie. It should have happened at cruiserweight. Yeah? You ain't done nothing at heavyweight to be flexing your ranking like that anyway. So let's see what happens. That's got, from Okolie's perspective, I think Riakporhe's a bit long in the tooth in terms of his actual age, but he's a young fighter. He hasn't had a whole load of wars kind of thing, Riakporhe hasn't. So it's two relatively young fighters who have got the narrative. Really, it's a similar narrative. Riakporhe and Okolie is a similar narrative to Dillian White and Okolie. End of the day. That should be Okolie all day and night. Yeah, you don't want to fight no young heavyweights like that, though. He either wants to put on a fight in a top fighter who's done all the hard work and take his chances, or he wants an old washed up dude. Fight Riakporhe. That's what Okolie needs to do. Because I don't like that. People schedule fights and then they pull out. Oh, I was injured. Well, if you was injured, you won't be injured in 4 months. Do what you said you were going to do. Don't turn up brand new. Oh man, ew, WBC, ooh. Yeah? Fight Riakporhe. Spark Riakporhe, and then we can talk again about anything else. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it. Yep.